Welcome everybody, I'm Jeff Barton and I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we're on each and every week, and thank you very much for tuning in. What we try to do on the show, as you well know if you tune in every week, is to talk about issues that affect real estate prices, real estate availability, real estate affordability, whether it's trying to get a loan, whether it's trying to get proper housing. I know there are not a lot of houses out there in the marketplace, and I want to get to a lot of this during other aspects of the show. We have a terrific show for you here today, and we're going to bring on Sarah, who's going to talk a little bit about real estate, what's it like to buy and sell here in town. He's in the industry and can really help us in terms of understanding what's going on in today's market. Couple things before we get going with the show. Again, I'm Jeff Barton, your host, and I really appreciate you again tuning in each and every week. One of the things that I wanted to get to is some of the regulations that are affecting real estate, the availability of real estate, and the affordability, whether it is for you to purchase or whether you want to sell, making sure that your buyers can afford your property. Regulations here in Nevada are really causing a crimp in some of the areas that we are talking about in terms of availability of housing or the lack thereof. And I'm talking about local municipalities, cities, jurisdictions locally that will prevent you from building a casita, an extra bedroom, something that you might be able to rent out in terms of helping out the housing crunch here in the Valley. When we get into what really causes housing issues, we go through peaks and valleys of both pricing and availability as well as in the economy. And when we are trying to look at the long-term effects of both homelessness, affordability, people coming in and out of the market, how are we handling this locally? Are we making it harder for people to be able to build a house, or to be able to build an extra room in their house for a rental, or an extra way that you can build a casita so that you can bring a family in? These issues are being addressed differently all over the country, and I wanted to bring that to our attention here and talk about it a little with our great panel who will be on later in the show. Anyway, I'm Jeff Barton. I'm your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll be right back.
Are you experiencing hair loss? We have the solution with no drugs, no surgery, and no side effects. Experience 100% pain-free results with SuperGrow Laser Cap System, featuring 272 professional-grade lasers that make your hair thicker and fuller naturally. Use it 15 minutes a day, 3 times a week, and notice your hair growth in as little as 3 months. Visit online at irevivelaser.com to order your SuperGrow Laser Cap today and experience unbelievable results. irevivelaser.com.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Welcome back everybody, I'm Jeff Barton, Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and I'm your host. I really appreciate you tuning in. We are here each and every week, and we bring to you through broadcast TV. And by the way, in Las Vegas, 450,000 people do not have cable. They do not watch satellite. They do not watch on their computer. They watch on broadcast TV. So if you're watching us today, you're one of a great many people. Vegas has 2.5 million people. 20% of them or 25% of them watch here on broadcast TV. So thank you very much for tuning in. We try to bring to you each and every week. Things are going on in the real estate market here in the Valley. It's very interesting and in interesting times. We have a national scene, a local scene. We have a great economy that's happening, but prices here in town have changed. Obviously, they're going up, and interest rates are going up on single-family residential. Some of the solutions that we try to bring to the show each and every week bring guests to the show, and in that vein, I want to introduce Sarah Yegazarian. Is that correct?
Sarah Yegazarian, yeah.
Sarah, I apologize. You know, no, it's my name is just so simple. You know, boiled egg American, right? But America encompasses all kinds of different people, and we talked about that earlier in a different segment of the show about discrimination in real estate, about how real estate is really represented by opportunity rather than people. And so, in that vein, I wanted you on the show. You do something that's a little bit different in your investment group, and explain a little bit about that and how you impact real estate here in the Valley.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. And thank you so much for actually having me on your show and being able to explain what we do. It's truly an honor.
Oh, thanks.
The company is the Guardian Group. And so our company is a real estate investment company, except we don't really look at real estate as our business. It's a people business.
Of course it is.
And we look to serve people for their needs. For instance, a lot of our sellers that come to us, they don't know what their house is worth. They don't know if they're being taken advantage of. They don't know who to listen to. Everyone's a real estate agent. Everyone's an expert. You know, everyone's got their opinion. What we do is we allow the facts to do the talking for people, and we let them make a choice. We don't sell anything. People come to us and say, I want to sell my home. I say, okay, here are your options. You could sell your home. This is how much money you could receive in 3 days if you need that. This is how much money you could receive in 14 days. If you have time and you want to wait 90 days to sell your home, this is how much money you could receive if you put it on the market and you sell it. And you allow them to make the decision on what's best for their family.
Tell me something. When you're asking people or sellers these questions, what are your sellers really looking for? Is that the question? I mean, are they looking because they're in desperate need and they need money right now? Are they looking because this is their money that they're going to have for the rest of their lives? Are they looking to just turn a quick buck because they want to get into another deal? These are the type of things you're asking them?
Absolutely. These are exactly what you just said. That's what's important about doing what we're doing. It's finding out what they want, what they desire, what they need, and then servicing that desire and the need. And the success comes after that.
Okay, so you have a philosophy. Describe your philosophy, your personal philosophy, maybe the way you approach the business, which is it's a lot different when you're needs-based as opposed to profit-based.
Well, the profit comes after you serve. And that's what we do is the philosophy of the Guardian Group is essentially to guide somebody through the process of selling their home. If they want to sell their home because they want to get rid of it because it's a headache, we have a solution for that. If they want to sell their home because they want to take their equity out and they could put it somewhere else, we have a solution for that. Many times I tell people, I say, what are your plans when you sell your home?
Of course.
They say, I just want the money sitting in the bank. And then at that time, what I tell them is what I feel everybody should tell them. Don't sell your home. Why are you converting your asset into a dying currency? Currency goes down on a daily basis. The dollar drops its value on a daily basis. Home values are rising. Sometimes it's not the best thing to do. If you can't take your money out of your home and put it into another investment that's bettering your life, your family, then you shouldn't sell. And people don't have this conversation because they're in commission businesses.
That's what I was
saying.
Where
they have to push the sale. They have to push people to do things that people don't want to do. They have to convince them. There is no convincing. You can't convince somebody to sell their home.
Right.
They have to choose to sell their home. And we just provide solutions for them, options.
When you are talking to somebody and they're saying, look, I just want the money, I don't trust the market, I think we're in a bubble, all the things that people get frightened of.
Yes,
naturally so, because 10 years ago we had a disaster. Right. Here, property values went down 62%. We have yet to recover back to where those prices were. However, the market has been pretty good, and we've got a seller's market. I want to get out of the market, I want to sell my house. What do you have them do with the money if they say, you're right, I shouldn't put it in the bank, what should I do with it?
Well, great question, Jeff. So we find out just by questioning process. Sometimes some of our sellers have said, you know what, I want to move into a condominium. I don't want to buy anymore. What we do is we don't give them the money buy and send them on their way. We say, okay, you want to buy a condominium? We have affiliates that we work with that we're going to direct you to that are trusted Guardian Group members. And what a Guardian Group member is somebody who's an expert in their craft. For instance, if we're going to refer somebody to a real estate agent, we're not referring them to somebody who's working as a part-time real estate agent and has closed 2 or 3 deals. We're referring them to somebody who's executed 50 transactions in the year. They clearly know what they're doing. Right. So if we refer them to a mortgage broker to help them get a loan for another property, we do that as well. And a lot of times, time is big. People want cash now in 7 days, but they might want to stay in their house for 60. That's no problem. We just recently had a seller. She said, I don't want to make any money from this home. I just want it done. It's going into foreclosure. I said, Diane, where are you going? She said, I don't know. I said, Diane, you're going to have somewhere to go. So the profit we received from purchasing her house and selling her house, we bought her a trailer, we bought her a car, we helped her get qualified in the trailer community that she wanted to live in. Now, that's something that we do because we feel as if we have to guide her from point A to point B, instead of doing the transaction and having her figure out the rest.
Now, this was a single woman?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to help people who are in need, who may not have the expertise, and then help them into a situation where they obviously are not only grateful, but they have a living, rather than being on their own trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's interesting, Jeff. Majority of our sellers that we deal with are people that aren't really getting taken care of by their own families. Their children aren't helping them. Their brothers and sisters are not helping them, or they don't want to involve them in this transaction. They feel it's too personal or it's too private, or other people will take advantage of them in that situation. So whatever they want, if they want, sometimes we've mended families. Brother and sister haven't spoken in 5 years. We come in the middle, we talk to both, and all of a sudden now they're talking again.
You know, the family-based approach, you obviously have a strong family. You obviously come from a place whereby these are important things. Community here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the surrounding areas, we always talk about it on this show. A lot of people come here expecting a certain lifestyle and a certain thing. 40 million, 60 million visitors a year come to town to play and leave. Forging that different way to live and look at Las Vegas is what you're trying to do, is what a lot about what the show is. It's local to try to understand what makes us a community of people rather than just some place to go pillage and leave.
Wow, well said.
Yeah,
well
and
said.
I think what you're doing is integral in that because there's a lot of lost people here in town who really need help.
Yeah, absolutely. The casinos are right down the street.
Right, that's right.
And you know, you hear the airlines when the flights come into Las Vegas, they say, "Welcome to the city of lost wages."
Yes, exactly.
You know, and they're saying it as a joke, but that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it is. And to find people in the real estate community now, obviously we all need to make a living, and I think that's an honest approach when you're talking to anybody in the business. But helping them to go the extra step. How do people get in touch with you if they need to?
It's 2 ways. You could go to guardiancashoffer.com. We have a telephone number there on the website. You could fill out a form if you want to speak to us.
Okay.
Or you could reach me actually on my personal line. Being here, I'm going to give access to that information.
Super, please
It's
do.
702-779-3325.
Okay, now when someone calls, do they get you? Do they get one of your agents? How does it work?
Good question. If you go on the website, you're going to get our leads disposition person, whoever's activating that at that time. Right now, it would probably be Gene Kokilla, who's heading that department. If you want to call me on my personal line, I'll be the one to pick up the phone.
Okay, great. We have about a minute left. Tell us a little bit about what it is that drives you each and every day to get up and get out of bed and go do this.
It's my duty to God to find a way to serve humanity and mark my physical body as an example for others. At the same time, make enough profit to keep the lights on,
of course,
to feed my family,
yeah,
and to employ people and be a capitalist in this society where the obligation of every citizen is to provide jobs and services, yep, for the other citizens in the country.
That's terrific. And you have a large network of people obviously working for you.
Absolutely.
Well, with that kind of attitude, I don't see why you shouldn't have even more. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank
okay,
you.
Very good. And thanks a lot. We'll have you back again because I want to hear more about what goes on and how you're helping people currently.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much. And I'm Jeff Barton, your host here for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. Thanks for watching, and we'll be right back.
Want to know how to create more business and save money? Simple. The answer is video. Video shares are the fastest growing form of word-of-mouth advertising, and according to InternetRetailer.com, visitors who viewed a business video were 85% more likely to buy after watching it. People today are on the go. They don't have time to read text, but they have 1 minute to watch video. At HD Video King, we not only create quality video that's right for you, we coach you on how to get the most from it. Call today. Our award-winning staff are ready to assist.
Successful Strategies International offers state-of-the-art PMP certification and an entire curriculum of project management, risk management, portfolio and program management by using unique learning techniques such as online learning, simulations, and facilitator lead programs. Our clientele consists of some of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in existence. SSI has trainers all across North America, Europe, and Asia to help meet your project management needs. Learn more at ssi-learn.com. That's ssi-learn.com.
Ruthless Cowboys, keeping the American dream alive and creating jobs one t-shirt at a time. From fabric to design, Ruthless Cowboys makes 100% American-made apparel that hardworking Americans are proud to wear. At RuthlessCowboys.com, you can shop for shirts and accessories for the cowboy or cowgirl in your life. Head to RuthlessCowboys.com, check us out on Facebook and Instagram by searching Ruthless Cowboys. Ruthless Cowboys, we're all about family, country, and keeping it all American. RuthlessCowboys.com.
Welcome back, everybody. I am Jeff Barton, your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show. We're on each and every week. Thanks for tuning in. We try to get to some great topics on the show, especially on the panel, which we are with now. And we deal with local issues, things that happen about Las Vegas, the Valley, real estate, investment, a lot of things that will concern you when you're trying to make up your mind whether you want to buy real estate, whether you're going to sell real estate, anything to do with what happens in the real estate world, financing, title issues, location obviously is extremely important. But part of the topics that we're going to deal with today, and I really appreciate Sare, you were on earlier, and thanks very much for coming back to be with us on the panel. We talked about real estate investment in the group that he's in, The Guardian. Really appreciate that. And also some of the regulations that go on here in Las Vegas, also federally as well as state and local, and how it affects real estate development, real estate housing, the affordability and the availability of housing. So let's get right to it, and I want to welcome our panel. Thanks, panel, for coming back again. Thanks very much.
Hey,
as we said, Sare Yagazarian, who is here once again, appreciate you coming back. Thanks very much. And Big Tex.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, thanks very much. It's Tyrell Robinson Investment and Consulting. Thank you very much. I've screwed that up 100 times over the many times we've done the show. Apologize for that.
That's okay.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Got the big text. Right?
Exactly. And once again, our real estate expert on the show, Rebecca Fitzgerald. Rebecca, how are you?
Good. How have you been?
Oh, pretty good. Hey, what's happening in the real estate market? What's going on?
Last month it was like a little slower than it was like in December. However, it has increased quite a bit over the past year.
Okay.
And it's still like on January is just a slow month, and it's still predicted to, continue to grow. The affordability isn't like hasn't reached its potential. The affordability, depending on the interest rates, should be about 325 to 375.
Right.
And I think we're still like 30% below that because the average average home price is still around 250 to 260, and we're still 30% below where we were pre-recession prices.
I see.
And the growth potential of the city has better outlook than it did 10 years ago as well.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. I want to talk a little bit now about the affordable housing that Rebecca was talking about, and who's to be in charge of what is affordable, what isn't affordable. I think a lot of the affordability of what happens here in Vegas is the fact that the regulations which prevent more housing being built or existing housing to be expanded for the population is part of the problem. What are your thoughts on it?
I think what I mean by affordability and affordable housing are not the same thing.
No, I understand that.
So
the affordability means that what people can afford who work here.
Right.
Can they afford a certain price of property? This is also part of that, in that if we had more housing, the affordability would go up because the prices would have to come down, supply and demand. So if we're having difficulty getting housing, enough housing for people who want to live here, we need to have more housing, which would increase the affordability index.
I feel like that when you're talking about affordable housing being built is more with people on a fixed income. Because there was a development that was built like last year, and the average price per unit with that was like around $567 is what the article you sent me was, which for a one bedroom or something, the average would be like $700 or $800 in general. Which,
for the rent?
Yeah, that's what the market would be. However, this rents were like $567. So the problem is they're building less houses for people that don't make as much money.
Okay,
and
well, so
that's
this
going
is
to continue.
great,
It's going to continue to be a problem because, again, like in California, and because they're getting rid of the tax credit, the developers will just pay their way out of building affordable houses because they're going to make more by not building affordable houses.
Where do you live? What part of town do you live in?
The Lakes area.
Okay.
West side.
What's the affordability up there? What are the people that live there? Vacancies?
So around 300 to 500, depending on the area.
Right.
I'm depending on the little pocket there. But as far as affordability goes, it's if somebody cannot afford to buy a home and you let them buy a home, then you're not doing a service to them. What you're doing is you're setting them up for failure. Mm-hmm. Maybe this person needs to rent until they get to a point where they could afford, and then they could purchase the home. I'm seeing a lot of, for some reason in Las Vegas, trailer communities are huge. And I never thought, I'm like, why would anybody move into a trailer community opposed to a condo if the pricing is the same? Because they could buy a trailer for $20,000, $30,000 and they're paying $500 a month rent fee for that trailer.
Right.
So in my mind, I'm thinking, why not just get a condo or something like that? But they have little communities there, and especially if you're elderly, like 55 and over communities, these people are preferring, a lot of the people I buy houses from, they say, I'm done with houses, I'm done with condos, I'm done renting, I want a trailer, get me in a trailer park, a community. And I thought it would be more rural than what it is, but they have pools and they have places where you could go work out, they have gyms, you know, they have like community affairs where every week they have a party, something like that, you know. So, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I think the 55 and over community is huge here in Las Vegas.
Okay, so the fixed income people, which is the 55 and over community, right? The people that come here usually are on, you know, especially in the mid-60s, they're going to be making less money. This is the crowd that needs the housing, as well as obviously younger couples, people that are first time into the marketplace.
Well, the younger generation actually is going more towards smaller living. Like they're building a lot of stuff downtown. It's like 350 square feet, and they're paying like $850 to $1,000 a month. And people want.
Is that a rental or is that an owner?
No, that's renting. There's a new development on Fremont called Fremont 9, and literally it's 350 square feet. It's a studio, and it's $850 to $1,000 a month. But people.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
People prefer
350 square feet.
Yes, people like it because they're moving away from having the big TV, with the house being based on a big TV in a living room, and the younger generation is more simplistic. They just want to lock their place up and go travel and do this.
They want to be more mobile. You're absolutely right. So younger generation, it's just information is at our fingertips with the internet. When it just teaches you, if you own something, this is not an asset. You owning a home is not an asset. It's a liability. That house isn't making you money. You have to pay the taxes. You have to pay the insurance. You're losing money on that. Sure, the value is going up, but if you don't cash out, it's a liability for you. So the younger generation is renting.
Or is it that just that kids don't want to make a commitment? Part of that too as well. I got kids.
There's more and more successful people in this Gen X, I think that's what they're calling this generation, right? There's more successful people in that generation than there is in all the other generations. So obviously they know something that others don't.
Well, okay, so define success for me. Is it monetary, or is it building a family with roots? With I mean, seriously, my generation, which is just past World War II, it was about home ownership and building a family and about sinking roots and about that kind of thing. If you're talking about financial success, well, you know what, unless you're long-term holding a house 20 to 30 years, we just made our last payment. So I know, for instance, that's a legacy I can leave my kids, and that's important to me.
That's what wealth building is.
Well, that's what wealth building is, right. So if this generation is all about a paycheck, what do you do with your paycheck? What are you telling your people to do with a paycheck? What are you telling your people to do if they have excess money in their paycheck, or they're living in a rental which is cheap just to make more money? What do you do with it?
Well, one of the things that I'm doing is, first things first is, even when I sit down with someone, is, do you know where your money's going? You have the younger generation, they're making money, but they're also spending a lot of money, and they don't even know where it's going. Whereas in your generation,
no one has ever taught finance. Like, it's not like.
Well, this is what I think
true.
Tex, you're talking about.
Well, that's the thing. So that's the biggest part, is the educational part. Is like, hey, we're not trying to slam you and get you going this avenue first, but let's get you educated first. So for the next 30 to 60 days, keep your spending the way it is, but keep your receipts. You'll know where your money was going. Just like we were talking yesterday.
Yep.
I found out I was spending $90 a month on Rockstars.
Right.
I didn't even realize that.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly. Or Starbucks.
Or exactly.
Or a million other things that you do every day that you're not even aware you're doing it. It's $500-600 a month or a year.
You're bringing up wealth. I mean, is it money, or is it family? Is it something? I think at the end of the day, the most important thing, obviously, is love, is family. But you need to survive in a capitalistic society. And I think people got it all backwards here, because to me, it's insane when someone tells me you could receive a 10% return on your investment. Why? Because I understand that I can make 100% return on my investment doing other things. But if people don't know that, they don't have access to that, how are they going to know? You only know what someone teaches you. And going to her point, there is no financial literacy in this country. People don't understand that currency, right, moves and flows in a direction. And if you're not acting accordingly and putting money in the certain buckets that they should go into, you're not going to have any currency. What do I mean by that? You could spend money, which everybody in this country does, agreed? Right? You could save money, which hardly anybody does.
Nobody.
You could invest money, and that's when you double your money, you multiply your money. And then the last thing is charity. How many people donate? They cut off those things that majority of people don't invest, majority of people don't donate, and they hardly save. So what's left? Spending. That's why they're broke. Because they're not utilizing money in the way it should be utilized. If you utilize money in the way it should be utilized, you'll never be broke. Because it goes against the laws of wealth. It doesn't work that way. But they need to be taught this.
Okay, I want to talk about one other thing here. Okay, speaking of that, we have the city versus rural here, the local needs versus the state budget. So if there's a tax here locally that affects the entire state, and yet people outside of Las Vegas don't want the tax because they don't care about Las Vegas schools. Only Las Vegas cares about Las Vegas schools. Is this a thing that should, like this particular senator here, Segerblum, who says, hey, I don't care about the Northern Nevada. Who cares about them? I need money for the schools now, yet the tax affects everybody. So the question is, how do we fix a system which always seems to put one person ahead of another? If we're egalitarian, that's not going to work.
I mean, you could just make it a county tax. It only affects people in Clark County if that's where the education money is being spent.
Well, no, I agree, but this isn't what happened. This is the plan that just passed. So, this senator from Vegas doesn't really care about Northern Nevada because these things have to happen now. So this idea that I'm going to tax you even though you're not benefiting, but the general public is benefiting here in Vegas, and that's sort of a socialistic idea. Anyway, we're up against it.
Wow.
I apologize.
It's
good. Thanks very much for coming on the show once again.
Absolutely.
Okay, very good. And I'm Jeff Barton, your host for the Las Vegas Real Estate Show, and we'll see you next time.